Ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. I would like to start by thanking Chancellor Sarando and the Pontifical Academy of Science for inviting me. It's my great honor to attend this workshop and to share with you China's experiences on education and poverty reduction in poor rural areas. Child development and education has become the key topic of global concern. Since China undertook the reform and opening up process 35 years ago, China has adopted a development path with Chinese characteristics suited to its own unique condition as the world's most populous country. China has realized the Millennium Development Goal ahead of schedule, helped lift 439 million of our rural citizens out of poverty, and succeeded in bringing about the sharp rise of Human Development Index. Infant mortality in China has decreased from 50%. 50% in 1991 to 9% in 2013. China has fully established 9 years of compulsory education for urban and rural children. The gross enrollment of 3 to 6 years old preschooler has reached 70%. Through education and the poverty alleviation policy, near 400,000 children with a disability now have equal access to education. Although great achievements have been obtained, China is still a developing country with a per capita GDP, which stands at around number 18 in world ranking. More than 70 million rural people are still in poverty. China still faces a many challenges like urban-rural disparity, regional disparity, poverty. China is also undergoing a rapid urbanization. There are 96 million migrant children, more than 60 million left behind of children, and more than 100 million children in total who are impacted by the migration. Most of the children affected are from or live in the rural area. Changing their fate and welfare is a matter of equity and fairness. Equity is the key to sustainable human development and is the cement which hold together the bricks needed to build a fair, moderately prosperous society. We believe in the following. Inequality is a disease, and we need to fight it at its root, at childhood, because it has been shown to be more effective, more efficient, and ultimately more humane. We do this by putting children first, working together, equity for all, focusing on the rural poor, and caring for the full life cycle of our youngest fellow citizens in order to give them a better chance at a more fulfilled, more prosperity life. Holding the above view of social equity, China Development Research Foundation, as an NGO, is committed to policy research in the child development and innovation in public affairs. Commitment to China poverty reduction and rural development education is the cornerstone to our foundation. CDRF also built a bridge between the government, enterprises, research institute, and media and public. Through learning and the introduction of pioneering concept of the development from the outside and locally adapted them to conduct a social experiment, CDRF is constantly exploring measures for rural education and child development that are suitable for the situation of China. CDRF is also trying to elevate the experience gained from the scientific evaluation into the national policy and promote the policy on the large scale. After the policy is established, CDRF will carry out its evaluation and will supervise the process of implementation to further improve the policy efficiency and fairness. By doing so, we not only can directly help people from the bottom of a pyramid, but also help government to make a better policy to meet the need of the development of these people. If you permit me, I would like to share with you some of the work which we have accomplished. The first is the Nutrition Improvement Program in the rural school. In 2007, CDRF launched a pilot in 10 schools in 2 counties. The students received a subsidy for the lunch, and the evaluation of the program shows that the students have a remarkable improvement in the height, weight, and the capacity of exercise and the lung capacity. The program received support from the central government and was eventually adopted. What started off as a pilot of $500,000 and 2,000 students really took off. It is now a $3 billion program covering 32 million students. In 2015, instructed by the Ministry of Education, CDRF established transparency in school feeding websites. Currently, there are 10,000 schools in 100 pilot counties on these websites. Any policymaker, any parents, any donor, anyone can now go online and find out what the children in any of these schools have for lunch that day and obtain the useful monitoring data in the real time. This makes for the far more proactive and efficient approach to the child poverty reduction. The second is a Village Earlier Education Center project. It was implemented by CDRF to offer free preschool education to rural children aged 3 to 6. As of 2015, CDRF is running 798 centers in 12 counties in 8 provinces, with 800 preschool volunteers and 20,328 children currently enrolled. At the local level, 3 regional governments has implemented this program by themselves now. Our next move is to promote it into the national policy. The third is 营养包 Nutrition Sachet Program. CDRF first pilot project in 2 counties. In 2009, CDRF provided assessment data to the health authority. As a result, they are currently providing the 营养包 to more than 300 poor counties, benefiting more than 1 million infants. We were invited by the health authority to assess their program in order to extend it to all poor counties. The fourth is a rural education and the child health project. We call the China Reach. In 2015, CDRF carried out China Reach program for baby from 0 to 3 in Huachi County, Gansu Province. The project adopted the Jamaica parenting program, and a social worker do home visiting once a week. It aimed to enhance the parenting skills for parents to promote the healthy development of the infant. China Reach is being implemented, and the outcome will be tracked and evaluated. Last but not least is our involvement in secondary vocational education, which now covered 90 million teenagers. 89% of them come from a rural family. In 2014, at the request of Ministry of Education, CDF conducted the performance assessment of vocational education. Our results show that while such training is free, quality still need to be improved. Based on this assessment, CDF expected to start a pilot program called Win Future in 2 cities to improve the quality of education in the vocational school. Equally importantly, our aim is to improve the self-esteem of the participants and their mental well-being. Social skills are such a vital part of the future success in the job market. Through these efforts, CDF is attempting to shift attention in the rural child development away from just education towards both nutrition and education. It is difficult to properly educate a child with a malnourished brain. At the same time, rural child education needs to be focused not only on the compulsory old education phase, but also on the earlier stage of childhood phase from age 0 to 6. China rural child education and poverty reduction need to be carried out using a more holistic approach, providing attention to child earlier and assisting them from a different perspective. So not just education, but also better nutrition. And upbringing, put differently, our aim is to help the most of disadvantaged children from womb to job. To benefit more children in the rural poor area, in 2013, CDF proposed established a national plan for child development in poor rural area, a policy recommendation based on our findings and reflections. It was formally commented on by the President Xi Jinping. In 2014, 9 ministries, including the Ministry of Education, drafted a national plan for child development in poor area 2014 to 2020, which was approved by the State Council on November 15, 2014. The above is only but an example of the benefit of having a proactive and attentive government and of the flexibility of the Chinese policy-making process. The government encouraged experimentation by the creation, consultation, measurement, and the evaluation structure, which in essence act a policy incubator to fast-track successful comparative pilot projects into policies. This system is unique to China. These successful ventures show that with nationwide anti-poverty strategy and policies, the intellectual output of Chinese researchers, the strong local government capacity, and the warm support from rural parents, China rural child development model is not only entirely practical, but very effective. I would now like to share some of the lessons we have learned. First, we need to pooling of global knowledge on these problems. There have been numerous theoretical and practical explanation in child development, and the fruit of this research project need to be utilized, but their results need to be innovatively adapted to the local situation in China, rather than just imported and directly implemented. Secondly, it's essential that we work with government to explore and interact. Experiment in the child development project simply cannot be undertaken without support from a central and local government. The transformation of project findings into national policy also needs the support and the financial resources of the government. Government's role is crucial. Philanthropy is by itself can help thousands or maybe hundreds of thousands of children, but only government policy can truly change the life of the tens or even hundreds of millions of people in China. The third lesson is to have simple measures, accessible services, economic cost, and quality assurance, because China is a development nation. That means that keep the cost of the personnel and the facilities need to be kept in the sensible level. The operational should be easy and quick to carry out, but their quality must be assured. The fourth lesson is to seek engagement for all stakeholders. Child development is not only the state's responsibility, it's also responsibility of the society, family, individual, and that is why all these achievements above could take place. That is because state, corporation, social organization, family, media, academic, all did their part for the child development in the poor rural area and help create an atmosphere conducive to the healthy development of children. For example, for the last 3 years, CDIF has received a corporate and individual donation for the above project amounting to about $3 million every year. Ladies and gentlemen, child development and education are entering a critical historical moment. In September, the United Nations approved the Sustainable Development Agenda. For the first time, early childhood development is on the global development agenda. Education is the foremost objective on the content. What we need now, and more than ever, is to carry and far-sighted policy innovation and exploration. We are delighted to have Professor James Heckman, Amartya Sen, Joseph Stiglitz, and Jeffrey Sachs actively involved in guiding our work in child development in rural China. By investing in a child, we could change his or her fate. By investing in the generation, we could change a nation's future and thus of the entire world for the generations to come. Let us work together to ensure every child gets a bright star so that we may realize their dream and create the most equal world. Thank you.